Meteorologist Paige Noel here. We are tracking a WVLT first alert weather day as we head into this evening. We've been talking about this for the past several days. It is finally here, and so I have the most updating timing and impacts and what to expect as we head into really the next couple of hours. So let's go ahead and get into this system as the risk for severe storms has increased since we talked probably yesterday. If you were on here for Facebook Live, stayed the same though, kind of over the past really about 12 hours or so. So you now see that moderate risk that has been extended down into a lot of Kentucky. So really from kind of Ohio and then down into parts of eastern Kentucky. And then you see that enhanced risk. That's a 3 out of 5 on that severe weather scale. And that's what we are going to see here in East Tennessee. You see a little bit of that red clipping some of those counties, some of our southeastern Kentucky counties. Again, that's a moderate risk. That's a 4 out of 5. But most of us in that enhanced risk, a 3 out of 5 on that severe weather scale. Really just meaning that we're very confident that we have all the right ingredients for those strong to severe storms to develop and for numerous strong to severe storms to develop heading into the next really couple of hours. So here's kind of what we're watching. So you can see this, actually that line that just pushed through kind of that Nashville area. This isn't the main line. The main line, if you look very closely, kind of just south of Memphis, those storms is what's going to move into our region, and that's going to provide us with those strong to severe storms. You can kind of see really back towards Paducah. So that's that main line of rain and storms that are just now starting to develop just to kind of western Tennessee, western Kentucky. That's what we're watching as we head into tonight. We've already had some rain and storms over towards the Nashville area. Some lightning as we look up towards Fentress County into parts of Wayne to McCreary, but it's really just died down a little bit. We'll watch to see if maybe this takes away from the severity later. I don't think so. I think we're actually going to see some sunshine this afternoon to evening, so it's going to help refuel some of these storms. So dealing with just some lightning, so isolated kind of pop-up storms there. This was really expected today. So as we track out those are going to continue to move really towards the northeast about 60 miles per hour. So they're moving quickly, moving towards Oneida at 2:40 p.m. So in about the next 10 minutes. Williamsburg at 2:55, and then towards Barberville up into that's Knox County in southeastern Kentucky. That's about 3:10. So that's really staying mainly towards southeastern Kentucky heading into about the next hour or so. Just look at those wind gusts. It's been really breezy for us here into the valley today. We've had gusts up to about 30, even 40 miles per hour at times. Starting to see those gusts spread out a little bit as we look back towards parts of the plateau. So we're going to continue to watch those gusts pick up as we head over the next several hours. Here's a look at those future gusts. So again, you can see them up to about 25, 30, even 40 miles per hour at times over the next couple of hours. And then even as we head into tonight, you see them kind of dip down at 10, 11 midnight. That's really when that line's kind of pushing out of here. And then we'll kind of see those winds shift, and that's going to filter in some of those breezy conditions by the time that we get into tomorrow. So we're actually going to see these gusts continue over the next couple of days. Here's kind of what we have right now. Here's this big tornado watch that you're seeing back towards Nashville. A good portion of Kentucky is in this tornado watch. I'm going to zoom in on this. This has been extended. So that tornado watch is back towards Cumberland and Fentress County. That's until about 3 p.m. Central Time, so that's 4 o'clock our time, and then up into parts of southeastern Kentucky. That tornado watch is until 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Does this get extended? Probably. I think that we do see this tornado watch get extended into I think the rest of us here in East Tennessee. So we're watching that closely. We'll let you know. If you have that WVLT First Alert Weather app, it actually is going to tell you first. You'll get a notification straight to your phone from us that says, hey, tornado watch in your area, especially if your location's turned on in that app. It's really helpful because it's going to tell you when that tornado watch is in your area. So let's say, I don't know, you live in Knox County, but you're in Blount County tonight, and Blount County gets it, but Knox County does it. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's going to tell you where that watch is based on your location, which is actually really important for warnings as well. You want to have a way to get those watches and warnings. If you're watching this now on your phone, go ahead and plug that phone in. Let's go ahead and keep our stuff charged heading into the evening, because it could be kind of a long night as we're tracking these strong to severe storms to move through as we head into the evening and then those early overnight hours. So right now this is a tornado watch. I do think this gets extended at least into a good majority of our counties. We will keep you updated with the latest on this. I could see this happening hopefully by the time we go on air at 3:30, if not 3:30 by 4 o'clock, seeing that get extended. All right, here's the timing. Here's what you need to know. Today, about 5 p.m., I still think that 5 to 6 p.m. is about that arrival time into the plateau. Then that's going to start moving closer to the valley. 8 to 9, I'll show you this in a second, and then lasting until about midnight through our entire area. Damaging wind gusts, the main threat with this system. Those straight line winds. We talk about this all the time. We get these types of weather events a lot too. Hail is possible. Isolated flash flooding. I think that threat's gone down just a little bit, but isolated flash flooding possible. You see that isolated tornado. That just means that we have the right ingredients for tornadoes to form. It is possible. Again, I think the main threat is damaging winds. Either way, whether we're getting severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings, we're going to treat them the same just because those winds are just going to be so gusty heading into those evening and overnight hours. So we're going to treat those things the same. If you get any type of warning, you need to go to that safe place, whether that is a basement, the most interior room of your home. You want to be away from windows, preferably a closet, maybe under the stairs. Like I have a pantry that's like a little bit under my stairs. That's my safest place. Or a half bath, or a bathroom in general. And a bathtub is great. Those are all great places to be when we're tracking these strong to severe thunderstorms. All right, let's get into the timing. I know a lot of you have questions about this. So this is kind of what we're dealing with right now on radar. Just showed you that a few minutes ago. So we have those isolated storms kind of just now starting to push into plateau southeastern Kentucky. This isn't the main event. They're fizzling. It's also what's happening right now. So this particular map is doing really well in the terms of timing. So right now I'm really confident with this. Let's continue to go through the next couple of hours. Even start to see that batch kind of push in 5, 6 o'clock, but really seeing that main line starting to push in that 6, even 7 o'clock time frame. We're going to watch if this speeds up or slows down. Again, it's still all the way back towards kind of western Tennessee, but could speed up, could slow down. So that's something we'll be really fine tuning over the next couple of hours, but it is starting to develop. So it's going to help us get a better idea on timing, but expect those strong to severe storms to start to pop up towards the plateau. We're going to call it 5, 6 o'clock, even towards that 7 o'clock time frame. Even getting close to that 8, 9 o'clock, that's when we're going to start to bring even some of those storms into the valley just a little bit. You can see that here on that first alert futurecast. Could really see those starting to move in closer to about 9 o'clock. This is what this particular map is showing us. Again, could speed up. That's something we're watching closely. So just be prepared as we head towards those evening and into the overnight hours. Even a look at 10 o'clock. There's kind of that next line. You can look at that just towards kind of the north and west of Jamestown there. That's also pushing into our region as well. So we're going to continue to watch these storms push into our region over the next really several hours heading into tonight. Here's a look at some of that heavier rain pushing down and towards the plateau, or down towards Southern Valley, excuse me. So that McMinn, Monroe into Blount County, that's at 10, 11 o'clock time frame, and then even into our far northeastern county still by 11 o'clock. If you're like me, and a lot of you go to bed early, this is kind of one of those nights, maybe staying up, having the phone nearby, having your alerts turned on. You're also like me, I know a lot of us keep our phone on silent. Let's go ahead and just turn that ringer on tonight. Rather be safe rather than sorry. And keep that WVLT. Hopefully if you have power, you can also turn that on. But if not, if you have either WVLT First Alert Weather app, or definitely that news app, you can continue to watch us there, because of course we'll go live through that as well. Here's a look at about midnight. I think we're still dealing with some isolated storms, and then those are starting to push out of here, and then we're just dealing with showers. I think overnight, Wednesday to Thursday, some isolated rumbles of thunder, but I think that severe threat's definitely dying down, and then we're just tracking just a few showers by the time we get into your Wednesday, and that cooler air moving in as well. It's going to be the next thing we're tracking for you, but let's get through tonight first before we start talking really about that cooler air. Here's another threat we're keeping an eye on. I talked about this earlier, that isolated flash flooding threat. It is there just because we have those really heavy downpours in place, so it's definitely possible for us to get some of that really heavy rain to push in, especially if we get one of those storms that kind of pop up over our area. System could start to slow down moving into our area too, so we could get a lot of rain in a short period of time. So here's a look at that excessive rainfall risk. Really, the majority of us here in East Tennessee under that slight risk, which is a 2 out of 4 kind of there. So that just means that there's a decent chance potentially seeing some isolated flash flooding, really kind of those areas that just flood really easily. Just kind of keep that in mind late night, and then early tomorrow as you're stepping out the door. That might be something we're keeping an eye on, is maybe those wet roadways, maybe some still ponding water on the roadways by those morning hours. Here's a look at how much rain to expect. You can kind of see you're like a flash flooding. This particular map's putting about a half an inch to an inch. There is the threat for one of those storms to just produce some of that heavier rain and maybe getting that inch to maybe 2+ in a short period of time. That's why I say it's an isolated flash flooding risk, because I think we get a lot of rain in that short period of time. So that's something we'll continue to keep an eye on. But area wide, about a half an inch to an inch of rain, and then some spots getting just a little bit more than that. Just a threat we're going to continue to watch for you as we head throughout the evening. So here's kind of wrapping up those severe risks once again. About 5 p.m. We're kind of starting it early just to be safe, especially with it potentially speeding up. Some of these times these systems do really speed up until about midnight. Tornadoes isolated chance, but the threat is definitely there. We'll keep an eye on it for you. Large hail is possible. Those strong winds, that's what I'm really confident in with these strong to severe storms moving in, is I do think that that risk for those strong gusty straight line winds could definitely be moving in with those strong to severe thunderstorms. Just kind of keep in mind those can do just as much damage as a tornado. So that's kind of why I said let's keep those severe thunderstorm warnings, those tornado warnings, let's treat them the same heading into tonight. So if you get one of those to pop up over your area, just go ahead and get in that safe place. And then we're watching the chance for some isolated flooding issues as we head into the next couple of hours here. I'm going to pull up the Facebook Live just in case any of you guys have questions. I want to be able to answer those for you because it's going to get kind of busy for us here in the First Alert Weather Center. It's been a little bit of a busy day, but going to get busier as we head throughout the night tonight. Let me pull up this Facebook for you guys. I know we have some comments on here on already. Some people are saying home. That's probably a good idea. Someone said, what about East Tennessee towards Jefferson County? A little bit late. Oh, so Jefferson County kind of towards, let me go back towards the timing I would say for Jefferson County. I'm trying to remember kind of what radar looked like. Maybe closer to that 9-10 o'clock time frame for you guys. Maybe closer at 10-11. It might be a little bit later. A map showing 10 or 11. I'm kind of bumping that up just a little bit just in case we get that earlier arrival time that we sometimes do with these systems. So someone asked if the storms roll in the evening, would the power/impact of the storms be weakening since since daytime heating is down? James, that's a great question. It is something we're monitoring. Here's the thing though, we're very warm and humid outside now, and most of our maps don't show us cooling off until after this. So we still have temperatures. While we don't have the sunshine by then, we're still going to have those temperatures in the 70s by then, so still pretty warm, especially for this time of year, kind of these springtime storm seasons, just kind of all those ingredients. So I understand the question you're asking. It is a great question, a great nerdy weather question. Love to see that. So we'll watch that closely. I do think we are expecting to clear a little bit, so that's something we're watching this afternoon to evening, is to clear kind of briefly. I would say maybe right around that 4 or 5 o'clock time frame into some spots, especially kind of that southern valley to valley. So clearing in terms of maybe getting a little bit more of that sunshine. So that's going to help give us a little bit more of that fuel, but we're kind of already starting to see that back into western Tennessee. But yes, I do think that could play a role into it. However, I do think we're still really warm and really humid even without that sunshine. So I don't think that's going to be a huge factor in some of these storms kind of moving in. Where's the tornado threat most likely? Gabby asked this question. Best chance, I'm going to say plateau to southeastern Kentucky. Not saying there's not a chance here or towards kind of that southern valley. There's definitely the chance there, but the greatest risk, kind of where I'm seeing it, is definitely kind of clipping parts of that plateau in the southeastern Kentucky part of our area. That's typically when we get a system like this. If we do see a tornado spin up, that's typically where we see them. But the tornado threat is not what I'm super duper concerned about. I mean, it is a concern, but it's not those strong straight line winds, which again can do just as much damage as a tornado. They can still bring down trees, especially with some of that heavier rain, getting that ground a little bit more saturated, can take down power lines, could have power outages tonight. So that's still something I am concerned about with that tornado threat as well. So some people, yeah, we've this storm system has already provided some really strong to severe storms. I know we had some earlier kind of in the Cincinnati to Lexington, even Louisville area. We've had a few reports over towards that Nashville, kind of Bowling Green area, but really up towards that Lexington, and then even into parts of Charleston, West Virginia. So this system has a history of producing some strong to severe thunderstorms too. It's a very strong cold front that is moving through the area. Someone else, should we bring in pets? Charlie, yes, I would bring in your pets definitely with those gusty winds moving in. A lot of people asking about, someone else, should we shut the windows? What about the doors? Yes, of course, you shut all windows and doors, never keep those open. A lot of people asking about their county. So when this video ends, you can actually go back and rewatch it, and you can rewatch that future cast and kind of look at your county and watch that timing a little bit closely. If I sat here and answered everybody's area, we'd be here all evening. Someone said in theory, if a rainstorm happened before the main threat, that could also weaken the impact. That is correct, James. So because we have some rain pushing into parts of the plateau in southeastern Kentucky. However, in this particular instant. We've kind of seen some storms and some showers move through the Nashville area, so it's going to be interesting. They've had a lot more rain than we have, so it'll be interesting to see what that kind of back edge does. So sometimes that does happen where we get kind of a few rain and isolated storms before, then that main line moves in and not as strong. However, for a lot of our area here, and that includes us here in Knox County, we haven't seen any rain today, so might not weaken here. So maybe, since we've had a little bit of rain and some storms up towards that plateau in southeastern Kentucky, maybe weakening a little bit up there. It'll be something we watch, but I'm still going to say they're going to be pretty strong, even pushing towards the plateau, because I do think that area that's seeing rain now is going to clear out quickly. I think you get a little bit of some heating, and then that's when we can refuel some of those storms later, just because they are moving in. That mainland's moving in behind that, the rain that's kind of pushing into that area right now, and there's a gap where we can still kind of refuel some of those storms. So that does sometimes happen, but I don't know if it's going to happen in this situation. So yeah, you guys had all really great questions. I am actually going home and going to bed. I will be on tomorrow morning, so whatever happens overnight, I'm going to have you updated by tomorrow morning. Our chief meteorologist, Heather Haley, hopefully taking a nap now. She'll be back in this evening with meteorologist Ben Cathy and meteorologist Jacob Durham. They're going to have the latest timing starting at 3:30, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 11. So they're going to be up late with you tonight. I will be up early with you tomorrow morning, but stay safe, charge your phones, make sure you know where to go in the event of a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning. Keep those phones and those electronics charged, especially if you lose power, so you can have that WVLT First Alert Weather app and that news app keeping you updated as you head throughout the evening. So I hope everyone stays safe and has a good Tuesday evening.